Good day, everyone. My name is Wunmi Ehis-Uzenabor, and I'm currently the Executive Director and Chief Operating Officer of Stanbic IBTC Asset Management Limited. I'd like to start by thanking the leadership of the Blue Women Network for this opportunity to share my story. I've been asked to share snippets of my career journey in the light of the theme for this year's International Women's Day, which is Choose to Challenge, changing the narrative for gender inequality and gender bias. I'm not sure that I can share my story without, first of all, acknowledging my upbringing. I grew up with a working mom who I sort of learned that success is genderless and universal. She she worked hard, made very strong financial decisions, and was able to achieve our own objectives following that path. So I joined this organization 15 years ago with that mindset, knowing that success can be achieved and I could do anything I set out to achieve. I've since gone ahead to have several opportunities to work with several people, many leaders, at least 13 of them, 10 of which are men. And I think that these opportunities only came about because my leaders were intentional about their decisions to allow me to thrive in spite of my gender. I would also like to share 3 personal experiences that I've had to go through. You know that as my career journey progressed, I also evolved as an individual. I joined this organization as a spinster. I've since gotten married and had 3 children. I think that prior to having children, there was no significant difference between myself and my male colleague. Why? We all had the same time, but that soon changed significantly as soon as I had my first child. I quickly realized that I did have some other personal matters or life matters that may likely be contending with some of the time for work. My leaders were very, very supportive. My line manager then, when my son was always falling ill, was always receptive to me not being available. Also, with my last 2 pregnancies, when I disclosed this to my leaders, they were quite receptive and very warm. None of them have ever used this being away or being absent from work unplanned against me. They've been very receptive. In fact, with my last 2 pregnancies, I've resumed work only to be promoted within months of resuming from maternity leave. I would like to quickly balance this conversation with what I did on my own part, and I think that is very important. On my part, I did 3 things. One was I managed my time and tasks slightly differently. I realized that most people will tell you what they want way before they know they want it and even ask for it. What that meant was that I stayed very close to my line managers to understand how they were thinking and where they were headed. This gave me ample time to prepare and pace myself and balance some of these things that require delivery. Also, I tried to get my line managers comfortable with the concept of me being absent and still delivering. So in spite of having to take some days off work, I made sure that all the things that were required were delivered on time. If it meant that I was in the hospital from 8 a.m. to say 10 p.m. to 5 p.m. in the evening, I still went ahead to continue to work and deliver what it is that was required of me. Finally, I made a conscious decision about where I lived. I realized earlier on in my career that commuting to work both ways took about 5 to 6 hours of my time every day. I had to take a conscious decision after engaging with my husband to move to a location that was closer to work. What this did for me was that it overall improved both our health and our productivity. That singular decision increased my productivity by about 50 to 60%, giving me more time to focus on my life and also deliver more on the job front. I think that the matter of gender equality is contributory and multidimensional. So it's not just on the institution side. We as women and as individuals must also be ready to make some shifts to enable the delivery. In the end, it's about value add to the organization, and we must continue to do what we can to continue to add value. Thank you.